Hello everyone. Alright, today I'll be taking us through the creation of templates, or how you can go about creating your own template. This is very important because we as individuals, we have different ways that we work, or that we take measurement for our drawings. So it's important that you have a particular template that works for you, and you can always work with it at any time. So if you look at my menu bar, you can see that I have different options, and among these options is my template tab. And if I hit on this my template tab, you can see I have different options for my tools also, and these tools are what I've actually explained in our previous videos. So I would recommend that you go through our previous videos and know how to use each of these tools, and do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that each time we upload other helpful videos you will be notified. Okay, so by default this software comes with its own templates, and you can click around to see what is on each of them. I have also created my own templates, which have always helped me in my measurement. You can see that I have actually classified this my template in terms of my elemental classification of building, substructure, and my superstructure. There are other ones I'll still be adding in a later time, but I just want to use this to show us an example of what I'll be taking us through, or how to create. Alright, so for this webinar I'll be showing us how to create a template for our substructure using this taking off list, and I believe that will go a long way to explain to us how to create other templates even for our superstructure, for our mechanical and electrical work elements. So if I want to create a template or a new template within this template tab, what I will do is that I will first of all add a new tab, and then I'll type in the name of the tab that I want to create. For the sake of this webinar, I'll be using the name text ABC, and this is fine by me. And then I click OK. You can see that it have now been added as a new tab, but inside this new tab text ABC, I don't have any item of work under it. So I will go ahead and start adding my elements and my items of work to be measured under them. So the first thing I will do is that I will click on this new folder, and once I hit on this new folder, you can see I will type in the name to be substructure, then hit OK. Okay, let me go ahead and expand this column so that we can see whatever that will be under it, or other items of work that will be under it. Okay, so another thing is that I will start adding other items of work that will be under my substructure, like we have seen on my own template, on Chinedum template. And the first thing under that substructure is going to be my removal of trees. So I'll go ahead and click on this new count, and I'll add it as a sub item on my substructure. So once I go ahead and click that, I will have it added, and then I'll type in the name removal of trees. Then I hit OK, and that is already added. Again, I'll be adding another item of work, which is going to be my removal of storm, and I will also be adding that as a sub item. So once I hit that, I'll type in the name removal of storms. Okay, then after my removal of storm, another thing I'll be adding is my site clearance, and my site clearance is always measured in square meter. It's always important that you know the unit of each of these items of work, so that you know the particular tool that will work better for it. Okay, so my site clearance is definitely going to be accessed through my area tool. So I will add that, I'll click on my substructure and then add that as a sub item, my side clearance. All right. Side clearance. Then I hit OK, and that will be added as, one of my items of work under substructure. Again, I will be taking off for my trench excavation. Rather, sorry, I'll be taking off for my site preparation or my topsoil excavation. And topsoil excavation is also measured in square meters. Although in your description you have to capture the depth, but in terms of its measurement, it will have to be in square meter. So I will also add that as a new item of work on my substructure. So once I click and add that, I will type in the name topsoil excavation. Right. So, and that have been added as one of my item of work. Another item of work I want to add to my substructure is my trench excavation. And under my trench excavation, what I'll do is I'll click on my substructure, click on my linear tool, add as a sub item, and you see that I'll be added, but I'll change the name to a trench excavation. Then I will go ahead and click on advanced just to make adjustment to that. I click on my linear tool, so you should know that on my quantity cup, what I have here is only my length. So I'll still need, my width and my depth of excavation. So how do I go about that? I'll have to create my own formula. And on creating my own formula, what I will do is I'll click on this, my quantity takeoff, add my mathematical sign, a multiplication sign. Let me add this, and then I'll add my width, add my multiplication sign, and then add my depth to it. You can always click and drag, and then you have it on any of the row that you need it. Then again, I would also be needing my width and my depth on my form. So let me go ahead and click the two of them. I'll check the two of them so that I can always see them on my form. And I think I'm okay with this. Yes, I will then be adjusting the units. It's now going to be in cubic meter. And then let me go ahead and lock my formula, and you click OK. So with this, my trench excavation have been added as a sub item in my substructure. Another item of work I will also be adding this time is going to be my earthwork support. So on my earthwork support, I will be using my linear tool also, and just like I did before, I'll click on my substructure, click and add as a sub item, and then type the name earthwork support or support to phases of excavation, whichever one, or any name that you know that will best fit in, that you can always remember that item of work with. Earthwork support. Then I go to advanced, and what I will need in terms of measuring my earthwork support are majorly two parameters: my length and my width. So here I already have my length, so what I'll be needing again is my width. I'll click and drag, and before that, let me add my mathematical sign to this row, and then click and drag my width and add it up there, and then check my width. But there's also another parameter that I'll be needing. You discover that in measuring for my earthwork, in most cases they'll be supported in two sides, so I'll be needing the two sides, but I don't have anything that has such name. Yes, such parameter that have number of sides, or okay, we have of wall sides, but I can go ahead and create my own. So by going to this add property, and then I'll type in the name. It's going to be number of sides. And, let me leave that on my estimating group. So once I click OK, I already have the number of sites added, and I can, edit the properties. I will always have maybe either one side or two sides, so that I can always slide down and then, pick any of the options that best fits the measurement. Then let me check that also. So if I go to my form and then see how it's going to be, I'm going to have my earthwork, support, which is already in linear meter, then my width, which I have added to, multiply the length. Another thing I'll be needing is I would also want to always see my unit of measurement at this point. So let me go ahead and edit that. I'll come to my form layout. My form layout, on width I will check this box to always have my unit of measurement, and if I'm okay with this, I go ahead and click OK. Another item of work I'll be needing under my substructure is going to be leveling and compassion. And for me to do that, I will click on my substructure, and then under my new linear, I'll click and select as a sub item. And once I do that, I type in the name, leveling and compassion. Then from advanced, my quantity takeoff is already representing my length, so I'll add in my multiplication sign and then go for my width. I drag my width to the same row, and I would always want my form to ask me for my width, so I will tick that also. Then I'll check my form layout to know how it's going to look. I will also be needing my form to display my unit of measurement. For the width, it is going to be in meter, so I would always like to see that on my form. Go ahead and I click OK, and here added is my leveling and compassion. All right, another item of work I'll be adding to my substructure is going to be filling to makeup level. And how I go about that is by clicking on my substructure, then on my new area I select as sub item, and then type in the name. Filling to makeup level. And then on my advanced, I already have my quantity takeoff to be my length and my breadth. So what I just need at this point is only my depth. So I will go ahead and click on the row, click on the multiplication sign, drag my depth, and that have been added. So my unit is going to be in cubic meter this time. Go ahead and lock that, and then I would always want my form to ask me for my depth, so I check that. Go to my form layout, and then for my depth I will always want the unit by the side, so I click OK and OK, and you can see that my filling to makeup level have been added as one of the items on the substructure. Now another item of work I want to add under my substructure is damp-proof membrane, and how I do that is by also coming to my substructure, and then on my area 2 I click as a sub item, and once that is added I type in the name. Then I click OK. That have been added. The reason why I don't have to do anything on advance is because my area 2 will take care of my length and my breadth, and of course my damp-proof membrane is a superficial item, so it will measure the length and the breadth. The last item of work I will be showing us how to add under our substructure is going to be concrete, and under concrete I will be adding other sub items like blinding, ground beam, and the oversight concrete. So I will go ahead and add concrete as a subfolder under this folder substructure, and once I click that, I'll add that as a subfolder. Okay, and I will name this folder concrete. Click OK, and under this concrete I'll be adding sub items, and one of the sub items is going to be my blinding. So my new linear, I'll click and add as a sub item, and that will be added under concrete, and the name is going to be blinding. And I go to my advanced. What I'll be needing for my blinding is just my length and my breadth and then the thickness. So I'll have to create that myself. So I'll go ahead and add property. First of all, I have my width. Add on that estimating. Click OK. That will be added. I will add my depth. And estimating. Click OK, and these are the three parameters that I need for this my taking off. So I'll go ahead and then select the unit. This is in meter, this is also in meter, and then I will create the formula for my blinding. I'll add my multiplication sign, drag my width, add my multiplication sign, drag my depth, and then change the units to be in cubic meter. Then lock my formula, and then I'll check this to be on my form. Then on my form layout, I will add the unit by the sides and click OK and click OK. And with this, my blinding have been added under concrete. Another item of work that I'll be adding to it is my ground beam. Just like the blinding is just almost the same, but I'll click on my concrete and then add linear as sub item, and then I'll add my ground beam. Then go to my advanced. I'll do the same thing like I did with my blinding. The three parameters I'll be needing is my width and my depth. I can this time, come to my takeoff data and then drag my width and my depth to my takeoff row and multiply with that to have my cubic units. So I will click on this place, then drag my width, the multiplication sign, drag my depth, change the unit to cubic meter. I'll log that, and then I'll tick so that my form can always ask me that, and then I'll add the unit to it. Click OK, click OK, and that have been added also. Lastly, I'll be adding oversight concrete. I've added oversight concrete, and I'll use the new area this time. I'll click on concrete, click on new area and add as a sub item, and the name is going to be oversight concrete. I'll come to advanced. Since it's my area and my length and breadth is being taken care of, I'll just click add multiplication sign and then look for my depth and then drag my depth to this place and then check my box so that my form will always have it. On my form layout, I will tick so that I always have my unit by the side, and then click OK and click OK. So with this, we've created template for substructure, and we've added item of works under the substructure, and we've also been able to add subfolders that are in that substructure. And if you want to know how to use this, you can always click back and go back to your home. Then from your right hand side of the window, you click on this drop down arrow, you check for the name of that template that you created, and in this case is our text ABC. And once I hit on that, I have now my substructure, and then I can click on this plus sign to know other sub items that are under it. I can also click on this other plus sign to have, the items under concrete. And if I want to measure for my trees, for example, let's say this is our site plan, and then we have trees and stumps that we want to clear. So what you just need to do is to click on the digitizer, and then it's asking you, you already have the name, just for you to make adjustment to colors and all of that. So once I hit OK, I can count, the trees, and then you see that it should be recorded for you on your left hand side of the window. Once you are done, you right click and stop. If you want to do the site clearance or measure for, if you want to measure your site clearance, then you can click on this and then click OK. And with this, you measure your site clearance with ease. Just to click on the end point. So, and then you right click and stop. So you can see that it's very much easy now, that I can always, I don't need to click on any of the tools on this menu bar. I don't need to click on any of these tools again above, but all I need is always use this template, for any drawing. I can always upload any drawing and then use my drawing. Let me also try taking off for blinding, and you can see that opposite my blinding is this green digitizer, and once I hit on it, I will have this this prompt, and I'll type in the width 0.225 in this case, and then my depth maybe 1.20. Of course my unit is meter, that's why I'm typing this 0.225 and 1.2. so once I hit OK, let me do the blinding for our external wall. You can always zoom, always zoom. And then stop here. Then I right click and stop. And then on this side, you can see that my blinding is already 16.7 cubic meter, and that is how to use this template that you've created to take off for your work. And the template will always be there anytime, as far as the software is still intact on your laptop or on your system. You can always open it at any time, and then you have your template to take off for any drawing. So I believe this video have been helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so that subsequent time when we upload other helpful videos, you can always be notified. And thank you for staying through.